Hello, my name is Reverend Michael Meyer-Veen, a co-pastor of the Schoharie Reformed Church. And I'd like to take just a few moments to share with you a brief glimpse of the tremendous impact that Faithwalking has had upon my own life and ministry. And part of that impact is because Faithwalking does a remarkable job of bringing together two things in the understanding of discipleship that I had never put together before. And that is that discipleship is both our spiritual maturity and our emotional maturity. I used to think about spiritual maturity as the only necessary piece of discipleship, and so being a good disciple was how much I prayed, how well and how often I attended worship, how much I knew about the Bible, and if I could just grow in the right way in all of these things, then I would be spiritually mature, I'd be a good disciple, and all of the places in my life where there was sin, where there was struggle, those things would come into proper order if I was just spiritually mature enough. But as I began to engage and involve myself in the faith-walking process, I began to see that need for emotional maturity in my life. Because faith-walking helped me recognize a very powerful and a very large influence of a shame voice in my life. This shame voice was a part of my first formation. It came through my relationship with my father, with authoritative teachers and coaches, through my experiences with peers. All of these things helped to form in me a strong voice of shame that said I wasn't good enough, I wasn't worthy enough, I wasn't lovable enough. With this shame voice, I developed my own chameleon personality where I wore different masks in different settings and different social situations. To my sports friends, I could talk sports, I could play sports. To my rock and roll friends, I could talk music, I could talk clothing. Even to my Christian friends, I could talk spirituality, I could talk about the Bible, I could talk about prayer. All of these masks just covered up my real feelings and my real self because of the shame that was hiding underneath. As an adult, ministry even became just another mask that I would put on so that I could feel and appear to be good enough and holy enough and right enough in the different conversations and contexts I needed it to function in. But all the while underneath, what I never realized or recognized was that this shame voice was causing negative impacts in my marriage, in my family, in my personal life, even in my relationship with God. As I engaged in the work of faith-walking, I came to not only recognize this shame voice, but to see how it had grown in me through those first formation experiences, but also to recognize how at times it stopped me, how at times it distanced my relationship with God, with my spouse, with others. Through faith-walking, through its tools and its processes, I have come in my own transformation journey to see the place of shame in my life, but also to move past it, to hear another voice, the voice of Jesus, the voice of God calling me the beloved, the voice that reminds me that I am uniquely gifted and called to this work of ministry and as a beloved child and disciple of God in the world. Hearing this voice has had a tremendous impact. It's allowed me to really deepen relationships with friends, with peers. It has brought tremendous strengthening to my marriage. It has brought a greater level of vulnerability and authenticity to my preaching. The process and tools of faith-walking have helped me to grow in transforming ways that were beyond my imagination or even my belief of possibility before this process began. So I guess I just want to say to anyone who's considering faith-walking, I just want to urgently encourage you to just do it. Jump in with both feet. Throw your heart wide open. Lay your life bare in this process. Because I guarantee you the work will be hard and at times it will be really painful, but it will also be really, really good.